back, YouTubers. Today I'll just give you a quick vaccine update. Vaccines in China, what's happening and what's happening inside and outside of China. Vaccines continue to be rolled out across China, but not just in China. China now is supporting over 50 countries with vaccine support. China's now sent several million vaccines to many smaller countries, smaller developing countries, and last I heard they're also supporting Philippines and now even Singapore. Majority of these countries are getting these vaccines supplied from China free. Free support to help these countries get their country back under control. I personally expect in about 2 months the vaccines will be available for myself and my family as it goes through the process in China. Very interesting approach in China that's a bit different to some of the Western countries. Different, I mean, who can get it and when they can get it. What are the priorities? In China, they've already completed vaccinating all the medical staff, hospital staff, emergency services staff as a priority. And this was done, I think, 2.5 months ago, they finished this. Since then, they've been rolling through government departments, even military personnel in some areas have already been done. Some other key areas the government focused on where they found some contamination issues and potential spread points was in food processing plants and a lot of importing areas, importing and packaging, controlling a lot of imported foods and seafoods and meats and things, frozen foods, frozen goods. So there's been a lot of restrictions put on some of these areas, as well as vaccines. Vaccines have been applied in some of these areas as a priority. If you're in a targeted or an area or a food company that is deemed to be a food processing plant where it could be putting other people at high risk, like you see on some of the American problems we've had in America with some meat processing plants. Processing plants like this in China now they've already been targeted. A lot of them are being done. They're being processed. Everyone in the company is being done. All the workers, all the staff as a priority. Now, when I say things are a little bit different, I mean, what I've already covered is pretty straightforward, but and similar in other countries. But in China, if you're over 70 or under, I think it's about 7 years old, they're not going to let you have the vaccine because they see you over 70 as a potential high-risk person with other complications. And if you've also got any other medical history and other complications like diabetes or heart problems or high blood pressure and some of these issues, you're also not going to be approved to get the vaccine. Now, you might think this is just because they're terrified the vaccine is really not going to pass the test. It's going to kill lots of people because the vaccine wasn't made quickly, too quickly. The vaccine was made too quickly and it's not safe. In most Western countries, the US, UK, Australia, there seems this just immediate acceptance. The vaccines are perfect. Now, we all know globally, these vaccines have been developed in absolute record time, well within the normal routine in terms of a 2 to 3 year cycle to actually validate vaccines before they're released. All these vaccines have been accelerated to market within 12 months. Now, China's taking the conservative approach, as China is always in a conservative manner in the way it runs things, the way it manages things, where China's taking a conservative approach. They see those old people as really important to society, as well as certainly the young ones, and they're treating the old people with a very high level of respect here, I believe, and they don't want to risk losing them. So there's a general age bracket, I understand, is between 25 4 to about 45, they're now the key target group that we're trying to cover the majority of the population that they believe will be at very low risk. These people are very key to possible transmitting the virus because these are people that are traveling all the time around China on business. These are the people that are so active in the community and are key transmission type people that could be spreading virus if the virus is out there. So the approach is a little bit different here in China. The authorities here have accepted the fact they believe this will be like the flu ultimately. It will never go away. But they're working to carefully step into containing the possible threat and not putting anyone at massive risk with the vaccines that have been developed in such a record time, which nobody, even in the US and Europe, know how effective they're going to be. Because there are very limited trials have been done on all of them. All the vaccines have been now being used globally. A couple of cities, of course, Beijing. Beijing now is targeted within the next 2 months to try to vaccinate the majority of people in Beijing. And here you're talking about 30 million people. Of course, with the exceptions of the very old and very young. So that's how things are rolling in China with the vaccines. The vaccines are certainly rolling out. They're certainly busy. And when I'm able to, I'll be getting mine for sure. I won't be having any delays in me or my family here, making sure we've been vaccinated. But certainly my wife's parents, who are elderly, there's like 60 and 75, they won't be getting vaccinated in any near future. If a majority of us who could be transmitting and moving around the country and moving the virus around from person to person are traveling and transport everywhere, if the majority of us are actually treated, it's very rare that we're going to be taking it home to our grandparents. And here in China, grandparents actually live with families. They don't get put in old people's homes where no one's there looking after them. It's a very different world here in China. Very different society, very different environment. I'm glad I'm living here right now. I'm a bit worried about some other countries and how they're managing this, but I feel very safe living here. I'm very happy with what the government's doing. I'm very impressed. Continue to be very impressed how the Chinese support each other. That's it for the vaccine update. When I go to get my vaccine, I'll make a little video and I'll try to put a little story together so you get a picture of what's going on. If you like the video, don't forget, hit the like button. Hit the bell icon after you've subscribed. I know you're going to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I know you're going to subscribe now. Please subscribe. Then you can keep up with my next updates of videos. Soon I'll be uploading some of my history of my tours around China. Give you a bit of an idea as tips and tricks if you're going to come to China, if you're going to travel around China, what to look out for, how to not get ripped off, and how to enjoy the experience. See some of the things that the tour guides won't take you to see. All right, till next time. Take care, be safe.